Nice reception. I'm going to read a verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 I'm sure you've heard this verse before. This is text 100 of the 22nd chapter of the Madhya Lila. Who knows which verse is it? Nakuliyasya sankalpa, padikuliyasya varjana. Action. The translation is, the 6 divisions of surrender are the acceptance of those things favorable to devotional service, the rejection of unfavorable things, the conviction that Krishna will give protection, the acceptance of the Lord as one's guardian or master, full self-surrender, and what's the last one? Who said that? And humility. So now responsibly repeat after me. The 6 divisions of surrender are the acceptance of those things favorable to devotional service, the rejection of unfavorable things, the conviction that Krishna will give protection, the acceptance of the Lord as one's guardian or master, full self-surrender, and the last one, humility. Now the purport by Srila Prabhupada is Divine Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. One who is fully surrendered is qualified with the 6 following characteristics. 1. The devotee has to accept everything that is favorable for the rendering of transcendental loving service to the Lord. 2. He must reject everything unfavorable to the Lord's service. This is also called renunciation. 3. The devotee must be firmly convinced that Krishna will give him protection. No one else can actually give one protection. And being firmly convinced of this is called faith. This kind of faith is different from the faith of an impersonalist who wants to merge into the Brahman effulgence. 4. The devotee should accept Krishna as the supreme maintainer and master. He should not accept Krishna. He should not think that he is being protected by a demigod. He should depend only on Krishna, considering him the only protector. The devotee must be firmly convinced that within the 3 worlds there is no protector or maintainer other than Krishna. And self-surrender means remembering that one activities and desires not independent. The devotee is completely dependent on Krishna and he acts and thinks as Krishna desires. 6. The devotee is meek and humble. So this is actually a very famous verse of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Prabhupada often quoted this verse. And who is the speaker of this verse? Who knows? Nobody knows. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the speaker of this verse. And who is he speaking to? Sanatana Goswami at one time was holding a very important position in the government of Hussein Shah, along with his brother Rupa Goswami. But first Rupa resigned from his service, and later on Sanatana also resigned. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave Sanatana Goswami very detailed instructions on the process of devotional service. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also gives Rupa Goswami detailed instructions. And he gave Rupa Goswami 3 principal instructions: to write books on devotional service, to identify places in Braj where the Lord has performed his pastimes, and to establish temples. The Sanatana Goswami was also given detailed instructions on the process of devotional service. And these instructions are very nicely explained in the 22nd chapter of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. How many of you have a Chaitanya Charitamrita set at home? And how many of you read it? It's not your show. Okay. We should read it. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has listed 6 factors that are conducive for spiritual advancement. We have all come to spiritual life, but we want to make spiritual advancement. We haven't come to spiritual life just to be a spiritualist in name. The Rupa Goswami Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has listed 6 factors. He says if you want to make spiritual advancement, the first criteria is accept everything what? For devotional service. Just like in our day-to-day lives, we accept everything that is good for good health. Especially in America, where people are very conscientious about health. Before eating something, you see what's in the package, isn't it? We want to make sure it's good for health. So similarly, in all our activities we should see what's good for our spiritual life, what's not. So what are some of the factors that are good for spiritual life? One is attentive chanting of the holy name. Chanting of the holy name is beneficial in any condition, but it is most beneficial if it is chanted attentively. What does attentive chanting mean? It means in simple language, at least when you're chanting, just concentrate on the chanting instead of doing several things at the same time. And you will find the more attentive your chanting is, the greater will be your spiritual realization and spiritual satisfaction. So, I don't need it. And I don't need it. Yeah, so one is attentive chanting of the holy name. Then what is the second? Second is sadhu sangha, staying in devotee association. We should not stay in devotee association with the intention, we're devotees, we'll do some social talk together. Spiritual association means we engage in Krishna Katha, we engage in discussion by which we can make spiritual advancement. We should be asking each other, what can I do to make spiritual advancement? That should be our goal. Then, studying Srila Prabhupada's books. This reading of books is very, very necessary. Prabhupada labored hard and wrote these books, not just for distribution, but also for devotees to study. And now we see a very positive trend where even our household of devotees like you come to study books. We, in Vrindavan and Mayapur, they offer Bhakti Shastri courses. And many of these courses are attended by devotees like you, who have jobs, businesses, who take time off to study these books. But we should make it a practice to read these books. What does reading do for me? That's a question you may want to ask. Prabhupada said, when you read these books, Krishna is pleased. Why? Krishna sees, here is somebody trying to understand me, so let me give him the understanding by which he can come to me. Because what do these books contain? Knowledge. Knowledge spoken by whom? So we should make it a practice to read at least half an hour a day. If we do more, fine. But we must make it a practice to read. Then, seva. When we chant the holy name, we pray to the Lord. We pray to the Lord. Please give me devotional service. Please give me devotional service. So when we have the opportunity to serve, we should be very pleased. When it comes to service, sometimes we have the mentality, I will serve, but only if I get a privileged service. And our philosophy should be, any service is good. I often give the example of the Sikhs. The Sikhs have a very nice mentality. Their philosophy is to render insignificant service. The richer you are, the more do they fight for menial services like serving water, polishing the shoes. You go to these gurdwaras, they polish shoes there. And keeping track of shoes, managing the shoe stand, sweeping the temple. But service is important. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, if you want to make spiritual advancement, then accept what is favorable. That should be our standard. Just like in business, every businessman will only accept some transaction that will give him profit. The next, what does Krishna say? What is the second?
Reject that.
Reject, that is. Now this is not difficult to understand. In our day-to-day lives, if we discover that something is bad for health, don't you give it up? And if you know that some business transaction is not good, you give it up. You give up what is unfavorable. What is unfavorable? Not chanting our rounds properly. Chanting our rounds properly is our most important business. And the more respectful you are to the holy name, the greater will be the reciprocation from the holy name. Not chanting our rounds properly. That is going to make a spiritual life slow. What else? Not studying the books. I have all the books, but they're more for display, not for reading. So that's the negative factor. Books will be read. This is a very philosophical movement. If we don't understand the philosophy, then we'll just remain sentimental devotees. And sentimental devotees, faith will never be strong. Then, associating too much with worldly-minded people. Associate beyond what's necessary. To a certain degree, everyone has to associate with non-devotees. But our goal should be to associate only to the extent necessary and not more. Then doing prajalpa. Prajalpa is talk that is not related to Krishna. And by and large, we're all fond of prajalpa. Gopal Krishna has said, Atyahara prayasasya prajalpa niyamagra jansanga shallolyam cha sadvi bhaktir vinashadi. Our devotional service will be destroyed if we over-endeavor for things or overeat. So, prajalpa is a negative factor. Then over-endeavoring. Sometimes we work so hard, you have no time for spiritual practice. That's undesirable. So this is important. Don't engage in prajalpa. Don't associate with worldly-minded people more than necessary. Then, staying away from service. If we are householders, engaged in service, earning money. I'll lecture on this voice tomorrow, where none of the money was questioned by Yudhishthira Maharaj. How can those who are living in the house of their ashram make spiritual progress? So then if we have some means of livelihood, we should share it with Krishna also. And then do not avoiding service. So there are many factors, but these are some of the main ones. And if you're in doubt, is this favorable or unfavorable, you can always ask Guru Sadhu Shastra. You can always take consultancy. Gopal Goswami says there are 6 types of rasas or relationship among devotees. One is to reveal your mind to those who are more advanced. The second is to take instruction. So reveal your mind to those who are more advanced. In other words, if something is unclear, we should be bold enough to inquire, to get clarification. Then what does Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say? Firmly convinced that Krishna will give me protection, not any demigod or anyone. So Krishna says, what did Krishna tell Arjuna? Declare to the whole world that the my devotee will never perish doesn't mean a devotee will have no difficulty. But a devotee will, in every situation, will remember that material life means a life of challenges and turbulences. So we must be firmly convinced that if I sincerely give my life to Krishna, if I sincerely engage in devotional service, Krishna will give me protection. And what are the other choices? You think the government can give you protection? Doesn't matter where you live, the government's not going to be able to give you protection. Can the military give you protection? No one can. Rake Krishna, Mare Krishna. Who Krishna wants to protect, no one can annihilate. So we will be firmly convinced that if I give my valuable portion of my life, if I chant every day, if I read books, if I am a devotee association, Krishna will definitely protect me. This faith must be there. Now, how does our faith in devotional service get stronger? Our faith will become strong only if you practice. As they say in English language, practice makes a man perfect. As you practice, you perfect your art. So similarly, as we practice devotional service, as I chant, read, my faith will also become stronger. And when I don't do all this, then my faith will also become weak. Sometimes you hear people say, oh, I don't know if that devotional service is a real thing. That's because our faith has become weak, because we are not chanting. So, the faith that Krishna will give protection will become strong as you practice. And what does Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say? He says that devotion service means accepting Krishna as a supreme maintainer and supplier. There are different demigods also. But to think that the demigods are equal to the Lord is an offense. The 10 offenses that we should all be aware of. And we recite these 10 offenses in our temples every morning. And what is the second offense? Who knows? The second offense. To consider that the demigods are equal to or independent of the holy name of the Lord Vishnu. So for us to think that the demigods are on the same level as the Lord Supreme is also an offense. So Krishna is our maintainer and protector. And we should also understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And by serving Krishna, we are serving all the demigods also. Just like Narada Muni gives an example in the 4th canto. When you put food in the stomach, the whole body gets nourished. When you water the seed, the whole plant gets nourished. Similarly, we must have full faith that if I give my life to Krishna, if I dedicate my activities to Krishna, then all the demigods will also be pleased. I should never be in doubt that, oh, I may be displeasing the demigods. So we must have full faith that Krishna is not only our protector and maintainer, he is the supreme. Then it says self-surrender. What does self-surrender mean? Self-surrender means that my desire should be consistent with the desires of the Lord. Generally we hope and pray. My Lord, my desire should become God's desire. Whatever I desire, God must fulfill it. If He doesn't fulfill it, He is not the water supply. But our goal, self-surrender means accepting Krishna's desire to be your desire. If we accept this principle, that Krishna's desire is my desire, then your spiritual life will progress. But if you are thinking, my desire should be Krishna's desire, then your spiritual life will not progress. What is Krishna's desire? That we all surrender to Him. What is the famous verse in the Bhagavad Gita? Mame Krishna Ham Tam. Krishna is saying, give up everything and surrender to me. Now this doesn't mean don't worship the demigods and just worship me. What this also means is, and what this mainly means is, that whatever is my desire should become your desire. Just like Krishna says, Yat karoshi yad asnasi, yat karoshi dadati yat, yat avasuli kalteya, tat kurishman arpanam. We all have to do something. Krishna says, Whatever you have to do, whatever you have to eat, whatever offerings you have to do, whatever charity you want to give, do it as an offering unto me. Do it as an offering unto me. That's what Krishna is telling us. So we have to learn to dedicate our actions to Krishna. Not that we do this in namesake. I can cheat you, you can cheat me very easily, but nobody can cheat Krishna. So Krishna is saying, can you take less pictures if you don't mind? Or just so what Krishna is actually saying, I think we took enough pictures. What Krishna is saying, that He is the Supreme Protector. That is, He is there. We must have faith in what Krishna says is what is really good for me. The self-surrender, Krishna wants us to chant. Amrish Maharaj was a great devotee who gave us an example how to use our senses in service of the Lord. He used his eyes to see the temple of the Lord, see the deities of the Lord. He used his tongue to glorify the Lord. He used his legs to walk to the temple of the Lord. He used his hands to sweep the temple of the Lord. He used his nose to smell the fragrances offered to the Lord, the flowers offered to the Lord. He used his tongue to taste Krishna Prasad and to engage in Krishna Katha. So this should be our guideline. That is self-surrender. What does self-surrender mean? My desires are consistent with the desires of the Lord. And what is the sixth one? Humility, meekness. Humility is most important for spiritual success. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj says, this verse, Sinada Visuchena, should be tied round your neck so that you can always remind yourself. Now what does humility in spiritual life mean? Humility in spiritual life means I'm ready to take direction. We may think humility means offering dandavats to everyone. That's also good. Speaking sweetly to everyone. But a more important element of humility is recognizing that I'm fool number one and I need direction and I need correction and I need knowledge. Very often we feel, I know what's good for me, I don't need any guidance. I don't need any knowledge. I don't need any direction. But humility means I'm ready to be directed, I'm ready to be corrected. And there's no one who should feel that I don't need correction. You will see in the Bhagavatam, when Prithu Maharaj met the Kumaras, even though Prithu Maharaj was self-realized, he asked the Kumaras for guidance, the spiritual knowledge. So when we meet each other, especially when we meet more advanced devotees, we should be inquiring, what do I have to do to make spiritual advancement? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains that the first step, take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. Then serve him. Then get initiated. Then ask him, what do I have to do to make spiritual advancement? And then, if you have to renounce something to make spiritual advancement, renounce it. Just like sometimes we get affected by some disease, then to recover from the disease, even if you have to get up something you like very much, you're ready to do it. So similarly, unless we are ready to make some sacrifices, unless we are ready to make some adjustments, we will not be able to make spiritual advancement. And we should be anxious to also preach the message of the Lord. Chaitanya Krishna said in the 18th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, all devotees, who is dearest to me? Who? Repeat it. And there'll never be one more dear to me. So humility is very, very important. Now sometimes we may think, yes, I know all these things, I've heard all these things before, there's nothing we're hearing for the first time. Well, that's a fact. Our philosophy is 5,000 years old. It has been repeated by the acharyas again and again. And we hear it every day in the class. The process is, the more we hear, the greater will be the penetration. The more attentively we hear, the greater will be the penetration. And the greater the penetration, the faster the cleansing of the heart. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, if we chant the holy names, then Chaitanya Darpan, the dirt from the heart will be cleansed. Why is the dirt not being cleansed? Why is the heart not being cleansed? Not because there's anything wrong with the mantra, because there's something wrong with the patient. We're not applying it very rigidly. So I selected this verse because the real goal is to make spiritual advancement. Prabhupada said, the spiritual master is not pleased just by the offering of flowers. The spiritual master is pleased when he sees the disciple getting attracted to the holy name. When the disciple is getting attracted to the scriptures, when the disciple is getting attracted to the mood of humility, to the mood of service. We want to serve all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. It's not that, I'm just going to serve the Guru, that's all. No. One should have the mood of serving all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. And we have the mood of serving all the devotees of the Lord. Then you'll make spiritual progress. Time and tide wait for no one. Prabhupada once wrote an article called Sorry No Time. This article was written before Prabhupada came to the West, in the Bhakti-Goddess magazine that he published. So from India. In the article, Prabhupada says, he was talking to a minister, and Prabhupada told him, please chant. He said, Swamiji, sorry, I have no time, I'm very busy. The next day he had a heart attack and he died. So this is true even for devotees. We should not think, oh, I've initiated out, oh, I'm full of insurance. No. Initiation, as Prabhupada often said, is just the beginning. Your ultimate spiritual advancement is based on how attached you're getting to the holy name, how attached you're getting to the philosophy, how practically we are serving to implement the philosophy. We should practically work to implement the philosophy. And this philosophy is very nicely explained in Prabhupada's book. If we work to implement the philosophy, then we'll get attached to the holy name. And this is what pleases the spiritual master. Just like a father is very pleased when he sees the children getting good results, for example. So in spiritual life, the spiritual master is pleased when he sees the disciples making advancement. So Chaitanya Charitamrita is full of wonderful pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his instruction. There are three principal books on the life of Lord Chaitanya. One is Chaitanya Bhagavat, Chaitanya Mangal, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. Chaitanya Bhagavat was compiled by Vrindavan Das Thakur, who is considered to be an incarnation of Vyasadeva. And Chaitanya Mangal was compiled by Lochan Das Thakur. And Chaitanya Charitamrita by who? Krishna Das Kaviraj. Prabhupada selected Chaitanya Charitamrita for translation because Chaitanya Charitamrita has more philosophy in it. So we should find time to read these books. Not that we work from morning to night just earning money. If we're earning money, we should donate for propagating Krishna consciousness also. We find time to read these books. And if we have a sincere desire, then Krishna will come. So I want to thank you all. My real request is get attached to the holy name, get attached to the mood of sacrifice, get attached to studying the books, get attached to staying in sadhu sangha, get attached to practical service. Some of you are making advancement, but some of you are maybe regressing a little bit, but some of you may are stand still, no progress. That is very painful, but there's nothing more that I can do. I can just remind you all what is right, what's wrong. But ultimately, you all have to cultivate the mood of surrender. As I say, you can take the horse to the lake, you can't make it drink. But if you don't want to make advancement, then it's your choice. But there's a spiritual master's duty to tell you what is the right standard. If you come to the right standard, you'll make spiritual advancement. If you don't, it's your bad luck. If you do, it's your good luck. So, spiritual master is just the agent. Ultimately, it depends upon the candidate. And Prabhupada's instructions were very clear. So please try to make spiritual advancement, and that should be the goal of life. Hare Krishna. We'll keep some time for questions if you all have. Yes. Yes.
Sometimes the message is confusing. We generally understood that the Nityananda Prabhu is very merciful and preaches always giving love of God and unconditionally. But then you read some, not read, but you find sometimes devotees are saying if Nityananda is not pleased, then you cannot approach Gauranga.
I'll clarify what you mean.
So this is unconditional, why is there a condition being applied?
Prabhupada said many times, God is not so merciful. You do your nonsense and God will pardon you. It's foolishness to accept that. Nityananda is merciful. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is merciful. Provided you make an effort. It's not that I'm going to give all my attachments, I'm going to give all my lollipops, and still I'll get initiated, and Nityananda will be merciful. No. Nityananda is also seeing how much are you surrendering in action and words. deeds and so on. And Nityananda is merciful in the sense that Lord Chaitanya has simplified the process of spiritual advancement. Just chant Hare Krishna. But along with that it is said, we should avoid the 10 offenses. So if you look at the 10 offenses, then it comes to the same thing. So God is merciful, but not so merciful that I can go and do whatever I want and still might take it back to God and it is there. Is that clear?
I believe it is clear, Guru. I think I was from the preaching aspect when you're approaching when they come across something like this.
You can tell them God is merciful. God has given us a very simple process. God is not so merciful that you keep all your attachments, keep all your lollipops, and you still think you're making advancement. Krishna says, what are you doing for me? What are you sacrificing for me?
I had another question, Guru Maharaj. Sometimes the message and it's hard to separate the message and the messenger, and my context is that nowadays many times the devotees, disciples are pushing their guru's books, and Prabhupada's books are nowhere to be seen. So it is sometimes, it poses a problem that we are supposed to be first pushing those books that have self-realization in it.
We should, yes, there's a GBC law also. In every bookstore, most of the books should be Prabhupada's book. And at least I'm always pushing Prabhupada's books. So we should read Prabhupada's books. And if you've read them many times, then you can read other books. But ultimately it depends upon the individual. If I want to focus on Prabhupada's books, no one's going to stop you. Someone may offer these other books, but ultimately it depends upon you.
Thank you.
Yes, more questions?
You said that we should avoid and get rid of all these attachments and other material things. It is easier said than done. So how can you do that?
At least we should work in that direction. And if we don't do it willingly, by force it will be done one day in any case. Let's say I want to keep all my money in my bank. I want to keep all my attachments. One day by force, I'm going to get separated from my money sweeter than honey in any case. The honey is going to separate me. Like sometimes people say, they come to us in India and say, I want to come and stay in Vrindavan in your ashram. Is there any room? Only Prabhupada said in his lecture, I will leave all my balance for my children, and with my 10 rupee japa mala, I want to come to Vrindavan to surrender. But Krishna doesn't see that as any surrender. So the point is, we should intelligently pursue this. Tomorrow I was planning on speaking on a verse where Yudhishthira Maharaj is asking Narada Muni for direction, how to lead a Vyasa life. And what Narada Muni says. It's very interesting what Narada Muni says. So, Either we do it willingly, or it's going to get done by force in any case. Yeah.
Guru Maharaj, you were saying that the devotee who preaches is most dear to Krishna. But sometimes we are preaching, but we don't see any effect of that preaching. So
that's okay. Krishna is pleased when we make the effort. If the result is slow to come, it does not matter. We don't say, unless your preaching is going to show results, you are not a devotee. We don't say that. Always Krishna says, make an effort. But at least we should make an effort. But the tragedy is, we don't even make an effort. You follow? At least we should make an effort. And if you make an effort, some result will be there. If not instantly, over a period of time, but some result will be there. We'll make an effort. And Krishna also says, those who worship me with devotion, I preserve what they have and I make up what they lack. So I may have zero ability, but I hear every day of the importance of preaching. And if I take part in that, Krishna will become the doer. Krishna will inspire the person you're preaching to. Oh, this person is very sincere. Reciprocate. But if we don't even make an effort, then that's unfortunate. Yes.
What do we mean by, like, you said get attached to the sacrifice. So what do we mean by getting attached to the sacrifice? Because we are already rejecting all the unfavorable things of Krishna consciousness. So
I said get attached to sacrifice. Get attached to what is positive. In other words, we should be attached to improving the quality of our japa. We should be attached to studying the scriptures, attached to devotional service. We should convert our negative attachments and make them positive. It is easier to make an effort. More questions?
Guru Maharaj, Krishna says that he never preaches his devotees.
Never preaches?
Preaches. How do we understand that when calamity is caused by other living entities or natural disasters?
Krishna says 7 types of miseries will be there. One is birth, death, old age, disease. But that's not enough. If it was just these 4, it would not be such a bad bargain. But there are 3 more which are more fatal. Disease caused by the mind, disease caused by other entities, and disease caused by material nature. So these things will be there, whether you're a devotee or a non-devotee. Let's say a devotee falls sick. And so many devotees are falling sick. So many devotees. It's not that if you become a devotee, you'll never fall sick, you'll never get old, you'll never get disease. All these will happen. But a devotee knows, I'm sick because this body is definitely going to give me sickness. This has happened to me. This is part of my karma. According to my karma, I should have had my hand cut. I just got a small nail cut. The point is, we don't say, come get initiated tomorrow, there'll be no problem. There will be problems. We all have our history of karma. It's not that if you become a devotee, all your negative karma gets washed away. It gets reduced, but it doesn't become zero. So we have a history of karma. Based on that, I'm going to suffer the results. And I don't know Krishna. Krishna, I got initiated by you. Why did I get this disease? Rather we take it willingly. Like Kunti Devi says, my dear Lord, please increase my calamities. Because the more the calamities increase, then what do? The more I remember you. And the more I remember you, the faster I get freedom from within that. So that's what we should be doing. In fact, calamities make a person come closer to Krishna faster. When everything is your way, and where everything is just like someone like Mukesh Ambani or millionaire Bill Gates, when everyone is so successful, he doesn't think so fast. It's surrendering to the Lord. One thing good at these American billionaires is, at least they have the mood of charity. They may not be giving charity in the right direction, but they have the mood of charity. Just like the Facebook, he's dedicated 99% of his profits to charity. Bill Gates also is one of the biggest philanthropists in the world. It's unfortunately they give it for pure mundane charity, fighting AIDS and all that. We know how to fight AIDS, just follow the laws of God. You don't need any money for that. Okay, any more questions? Any more questions? No? Yes. Who said that? Yes.
Could I share a comment, Guru Maharaj?
Yes.
Actually, we have Bhakti Shastri in our temple as well, and now Bhakti Vaibhav is going on. We are near the completion of the second canto. So many of the, your disciples, and many of the devotees, they have attended those courses as well.
And how many of them are taking the courses?
Bhakti Vaibhav.
No, I'm not taking.
I'm not regular, Guru Maharaj. I do go, but not regular.
You should make it regular. Actually, I like to encourage you. You don't go. You should go. If you have a chance to do these courses, you should do it. Of course, it will mean an adjustment in your Sunday program or Saturday. So you should do it. One of the problems is we don't study these books enough. I mean, if you have a chance to do the Bhakti Shastri course, first you have to do Bhakti Shastri, then you can do Bhakti Vaibhav. So, are they offering Bhakti Shastri now also?
Yes,
Yes,
Maharaj.
yes.
Yes,
It's
Maharaj.
going on on Saturday.
It's going on.
Saturday between 11 and 1.
Will it be our teachers?
No,
Giri Govardhan Prabhu.
Giri Govardhan Prabhu.
And also there is a plan to start offline Bhakti Shastri course at your own pace.
My request is please do it. All will think, oh, and I'll have to take, what do you call a junior student. You'll understand the philosophy better. Prabhupada's books need to be studied. I would request all of you to do it. It is free or you have to pay?
It's free.
Oh, it's free.
Yes. So will the online be. It's all
Mango is free for one place.
No, but you also please take it. You all will be better equipped to fight Maya if you take these courses. Any other question? Yeah.
Well, if you can say something about the preaching, is it just book distributions or going?
No, preaching takes on various forms. Book distribution is one form. You can distribute books yourself. Or sponsor books. They can be distributed. But then, having Bhakti Vriksha, in Moscow is Russia, is a 100% Christian country. And there are no Indians in Russia. It's all 99.99% all Russians. And we have severe opposition from the church, well-organized opposition, on TV everywhere. Still in Moscow there are 166 Bhakti Vriksha groups. Only in Moscow. 166. There are 8,000 devotees, all professional Russians, who are doctors, lawyers and all, who are members of the Bhakti Vriksha group. And there were 8,000 devotees. They do regular work and they take part in Bhakti Vriksha. So if they can do it in a place like Russia, and now in China the same thing is happening. If they can do it there, why can't you all do it here? But it's just our own laziness and pride that prevents us. Because here everyone has a comfortable home, comfortable income, everything's comfortable. So there's no need to endeavor. So that's one of the reasons. If in Moscow they can have 166 groups that meet every week to study the books, every week. You can do, why can't you do it in Washington? All of you live in palaces. These palaces are spoiling you all spiritually. Yeah. Any more questions?
So I think a good example is also preaching.
Setting a good example as an ideal devotee.
Yes, be a good devotee, enthusiastic in serving others. That is also preaching.
Yeah. But we have to go beyond that. But that is also preaching. But someone will say,
you can be good in preaching to others, but if you're not an ideal devotee, then how?
you have to do both. Be ideal. Okay. Any more questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.